warm welcome. You're watching News9 Live with me, Neha Khanna, and joining me here in the studio is my colleague Kabir Naqvi. Over the next few minutes, we will bring you a complete lowdown on one of the most burning political issues in the northeast of the country. Well, there seems to be no end in sight to the political drama in Manipur. Just 4 days after the resignation of BJP MLA Thokom Radhesham as the advisor to Chief Minister N. Biren Singh, another BJP MLA has resigned. On Monday, Karam Sham quit the post of Chairman of Tourism Corporation of Manipur. And that's not all. A perfect storm seems to be brewing within the ranks of the ruling BJP in the northeastern state. Reports suggest about a dozen party MLAs are currently camping in Delhi, hoping to meet the central party leadership. They want to discuss their concerns over the Manipur leadership. Reports say the disgruntled legislators want the central leaders to replace Chief Minister N. Biren Singh and effect an immediate cabinet revamp. In his resignation letter, Karam Sham stated that he was resigning as he had not been assigned any responsibility as the chairman of the Tourism Corporation of Manipur ever since he assumed charge in November last year. Sham represents the Langthabal Assembly constituency. He says he had submitted many proposals to the Chief Minister for developmental projects but didn't get any positive response. Now, both these MLAs were cabinet ministers in the first term of the N. Biren Singh government from 2017 to 2021. The twin resignations are being seen as a major blow to the BJP and the Manipur Chief Minister. So far, neither the state BJP leadership nor Chief Minister N. Biren Singh have commented on the issue. The question is, what will the central BJP leadership do to quell what looks like growing rebellion in the Manipur unit? Also, just what has led to this rebellion in the first place? Before I discuss that with my colleague Kabir, let's give you another update. Taking a jibe at the Manipur Chief Minister, Congress leader and MP Jairam Ramesh today tweeted saying, and I quote, "When you are about to be sacked, Hare Krishna is a good exit plan. The citizens of Manipur will welcome this move wholeheartedly." All right, let me now bring in Kabir Naqvi into this conversation. Kabir, first things first, what has led to this rebellion? Does this have to do with the 2008 Kuki Truce Pact and the decision of the N. Biren Singh government to withdraw from this ceasefire pact between the two Kuki militant groups, the ZRA and the KNA?
Well, first and foremost, Neha, it seems like Jairam Ramesh has his eyes on the telly and his fingers on his mobile phone. The minute something happens, he's the first one to quickly respond. That was because, some representatives from the ISKCON body in the state had gone on to meet, the chief minister, and Jairam Ramesh, really quick, taking to the microblogging website, trying to take that jibe. But to understand what's really happening in the national capital, when you're looking at this camp of, some dissenting MLAs, from the state of Manipur, now wanting some sort of an audience with the BJP top brass. It is not an official trip per se. They have met the union minister of the state in the national capital. Some pictures and political optics, that have surfaced on social media as well. Their demands outrightly, nobody really knows what their demands are. But this Cookie Pact, the 2008 SOO, that has now periodically been withdrawn, seems to be at the major bone of contention. Essentially, Neha, what happens is Kuki tribe, represents about 30% of the entire population of Manipur, and it's a sizable population, sizable chunk that is growing every year as well. Now, under that particular pact, it was a tripartite pact with the state, the center, and the two major organizations of the Kuki tribe, where they said, look, no violence is going to take place. We'll now, partake in political dialogue. But it seems like the Kuki tribe hasn't really been happy. Now, the recent developments are that last month there was an eviction notice by the forest department, because suddenly 38 of these villages in about 1100 or so Kuki inhabitants in those particular villages were asked to evict, because suddenly the forest department says that these areas are come under reserved forest protected areas. So they had to go. There was a protest that was called, that was supposed to be staged, but then suddenly the chief minister comes and clamps down on that particular protest. Section 144 is imposed, and the peaceful protest per se turned violent. Next thing, you've got these leaders who have started raising their voice. These insurgency groups, Chief Minister coming out, calling out these two particular insurgent groups of the Kuki tribes that are instigating the people into protesting with a violent, taste, with violent motive. So that's the main story behind it. Now you've got these, key position holders, somebody like who's the state chief minister's advisor, somebody who's, heading the tourism department. They've stepped down saying that hame kaam nahi mil raha, we're not being given any kind of projects or proposals. In the meantime, we have sent some 20 plus proposals to the chief minister, but no word from the chief minister's office. So clearly, there is a lack of purpose. There is, ambiguity in terms of how the chief minister's, chief minister's office is dictating administration in the state. And lastly, the dissent coming from the Kuki tribe. It seems to be these factors are at play here.
So clearly, many factors at play that have become a headache clearly for the chief minister, Kabir. The question is, what impact is this likely to have? What fallout is this likely to have for the chief minister? Because the rebels who are camping in the national capital have made it abundantly clear, at least through their sources, that they want the chief minister replaced. They're also demanding an immediate cabinet rejig. Is this likely to be a tricky issue for the central leadership of the BJP?
Well, not just for the central leadership, Neha. It's a tricky situation for Biren Singh himself. Ever since 2017, it's the second time that he's at the helm of affairs of the state, and seems to be the first real challenge for Biren Singh as well. Because Biren Singh's Go Hill strategy, Biren Singh's various campaigns about how we're going to be more inclusive of the tribal population, that has certainly taken a major hit for the chief minister per se. So will the BJP now, look at, because changing the chief minister has certainly worked for the BJP. Take a look at what's happened in other states as well. It's quite easy for them to take him out. But in Biren Singh or somebody like Nephew Rio in Nagaland, these are people who have the kind of sway, and it's not so easy to suddenly replace them. But yes, the BJP now certainly on a sticky wicket.
Well, yes, these are stalwarts that we are talking about. Final question, Kabir, before we wrap up this discussion. There is no doubt that the BJP has made hugely impressive inroads into the Northeast in recent years, winning state election after state election. But does it now seem like winning elections is probably far easier than actually keeping the peace and addressing some of the very complex issues that address the Northeast?
I feel like the BJP makes it look quite easier when they're, fighting or contesting elections in the Northeast. It's not easy. That kind of demographic factor at play, it's not easy at all. So however they do it in the Northeast amongst the Seven Sisters, some way the BJP finds itself in the party, either in a coalition or with the majority. But in terms of political fallout, I think most of it will have to be faced by N. Biren Singh. And lastly, because of the tripartite pact that has now periodically been withdrawn, what kind of violence takes place over there? What kind of law and order situation or lawlessness takes place in the state of Manipur is going to be another point which the Congress is certainly going to now be banking on.
Well, clearly, this is a headache for the Chief Minister, for the state BJP, and clearly for the central BJP leadership. What are they going to do next? Is the Chief Minister's post in jeopardy? Could the government itself be in jeopardy? Those are some of the questions that we might find answers to over the next few days. Remember, many of these disgruntled MLAs are currently camping in the national capital. We'll have to wait to find out what happens next. But for now, it's time for me and Kabir to say thank you. More coming up.